Okay, so welcome back, everyone. We now come to a really interesting part of the day. Now, we often hear about monastics. Sometimes we also hear talks from lay speakers, but there's also a very important group in the Buddhist community that we will hear from today, the Anagarikas. And we have with us in person at the Metta Center, Anagarika, Mithu Mahawathan, and also online, we have Anagarika Sumudu Wethang Singhi and also Anagarika Naduni Gamagi. So welcome to you all. We're going to now have a panel discussion with all three, and also Venerable Dasa will, of course, also be a participant of that as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Venerable, and I will hand my mic over to you. Enjoy.
Okay, so it's very exciting. I don't think we've ever done this before, so this is the first time. So I'm excited to conduct this as well. So, well, you can put your hand up, and we'll open up to the audience as well. But I'll ask a few questions to start off. So, Mr. Mithun, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. I am Mithun Chamikara. So I became Anagarika in 2022 April. Before that, I was a biochemistry researcher at Australian National University in Canberra. I came to Australia in 2016 with my former wife, Ms. Sumudu, and we studied, we came here to do the PhDs. And after we finishing, I got a postdoctoral fellowship at the same university, and I worked with viral proteases. So that's all about me.
Okay. So, Ms. Naduni, can you introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Naduni Gamage, and I've been an Anagarika for 3.5 years now. And I studied fashion design and product development in a Sri Lankan university. I did a degree there, and I worked as an assistant manager in a international export company in Sri Lanka.
Okay. Ms. Sumudu?
Yeah, I'm sorry about my voice today. It's not really good. So my name is Sumudu Singha, and as Mr. Mithu mentioned, we did our PhDs at ANU, and then afterwards I worked as a biochemist at TGA. And then last year we decided that we need to find the unshakable happiness, and then last April, I became an Anagarika in Battaramulle Monastery, and here I am today to talk to you all.
So, Mr. Mithun and Ms. Sumudu were married before they came to the monastery. So maybe here's some issues that they had as well. So, question number one is, what is Anagarika and what is it? So, Ms. Naduni, can you answer that for us?
Oh, what is Anagarika? So Anagarika is actually, we don't get ordained, like we live a life, a spiritual life, and we observe the 10 precepts that Lord Buddha has preached. So we live a spiritual life like a non-actually. So we do the daily meditation, and we commit our lives to live a spiritual life actually. So that's what Anagarika means. So we're gathered here to find true happiness. So with having the freedom and independent lifestyle, we are looking for the true happiness that Lord Buddha has preached. So we basically wear this white clothes, the props that you can see. So this is our uniform, like this is what we use as the robe. And we have about 50 Anagarikas with us, and we all walk towards one goal, that is to achieve the ultimate happiness in this life itself. So yes, that is the Anagarika.
Okay. Miss Sumadu, when you first came to the monastery, like, what were your first thoughts?
It was actually, it was simply a wow. It was such a wonderful moment, I think. So the serenity of the environment and the people around me, I think I felt like I was living the paradise that doesn't exist on this earth. So you know that Sri Lankans are they're known for their hospitality, but here in Arame, it's something beyond that. So I was actually I was chosen to be guided by these great teachers on this earth, and I think I was truly blessed to have this life, and I think I felt like I started the life that I had never had for my entire life. That's the feeling I really had.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Mithun, what do you think? What would you say is the happiest moment you've had in the monastery?
It's an interesting question and also hard to answer because we're always happy when we are at the monastery. But I'll say one day I'll listen to advice that our teacher gave to someone else. He mentioned that to achieve Nibbana, to attain Nibbana, you should live your life for others, not for yourself. You should sacrifice your life for others. And the following week, I was thinking about, what is that? Right? And that day, when I was thinking, I realized that when we were at layperson, right, like morning to night, we work for ourselves, right, to satisfy our needs and fulfill our requirements. That's why we work, right? And after we became Anagarika, then we are living our life for helping others. We are not living for ourselves. We are doing things for others. Then I was thinking, what else we can do? I felt that there are 8 billion people around outside this monastery. So what we can do? When I was thinking and planning what we can do, one of our senior monk who came to me, and he asked me whether I'll be able to take the responsibility for our new proposed project, which is International Retreat Center. It's actually for foreigners who are willing to visit us and then start meditation program and then participate in temporary programs, something like that. I was extremely happy about that because I was thinking about the same thing on that situation. And that day, I realized that actually it proved me that what you give is what you get. Because I was trying to give myself for everyone, and then I got the opportunity as well. That's the happiest moment.
Okay. Miss Naduni, what was your happiest moment?
Actually, when I became an Anagarika, all I knew was like I have to attain Nibbana while helping others. So that's what I knew about it, Anagarika. So after a while, like we do a lot of to help people. We do a lot of programs in the monastery. So one day, start of this month, I got an opportunity to talk to a lady as a counseling session. So that lady was under a lot of depressing situation. So I had to talk to her. So when I was talking to her, I got to know that she was planning to suicide. She had suicidal thoughts. So when I heard that, I at that moment I felt that it's my responsibility to save that life. So I had to save that life. So I helped her to find her purpose in life at that moment, and I wanted her to have a better vision on life rather than going towards the suicidal attempt. So I wanted to inject her the value of life. So I could talk to her, and after that I had thoughts about like, okay, this is my role. I'm an Anagarika and I have to help others. So that is my role. And it is to heal hearts by healing myself. So then I thought I have to do a lot more to this world to heal people. So when I could get to know that I could save that life and I have a lot more, and I found my purpose because I was helping her to find her purpose in life. At the same time, I found my purpose in life at that moment. That is to save the world, like to be a to heal hearts by healing myself. So that's what I understood, and that was my role, that which I figured out at that moment. So that was actually the happiest moment that I could save lives in future. So that I strongly believe that that's one of my happiest moments.
Okay. Ms. Sumadu, what was your happiest moment?
Yeah, I think as an Anagarika, I'm always happy. Every moment is the happiest moment for me. I mean, so it's like we pave the path for humankind to find the unshakable happiness, so that whatever I think, whatever I speak, whatever actions I take, they are for the betterment of humankind. So it's like day by day, I'm kind of diving deeper and deeper into this immense sea of compassion with the help of our teachers. I'm learning to love without boundaries. And to be honest, it's such a wonderful feeling. You might think that I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. You should experience this. You should come and get this experience, how to love without boundaries. And as my teachers say that I'm always trying to become a magnet to others' other people's meritorious deeds. That means that I'm trying to become a portal to others' good karma, so that I can drag others' good karma through myself. And I think because of that, every moment, every day. So today is better than yesterday, and I'm 100% sure that tomorrow will be even better. So that every day is the happiest day for me, to be honest.
Okay. I'd like to open it to the audience. Anyone have any questions you'd like to ask?
How long do you have to be an Angarika before you get coloured robes?
Okay, so someone had asked, how long do you have to wait before you ordain?
Yeah, so we usually there for 1 year period as an Angarika, because it gives us pretty much time to that we are suitable for this and we are ready to go.
What's the stage after the initial ordination?
Ordination, we have, I think, 1 year, 2 months. So 1 year to get the higher.
Okay, anyone else?
Sorry, I forgot the name of the lady on the left-hand side.
Left.
The one who's been an Anagarika. Yeah. Huh?
3.5 years.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering whether she's chosen to stay as an Anagarika or whether she's looking to ordain as well.
Okay. Ms. Nalini, the question is, are you, so how long?
Oh, like, is she looking to ordain or is she going to stay as an Anagarika?
Are you going to stay as an Anagarika or are you going to ordain?
Actually, we're just staying as Anagarika at the moment because this lifestyle is very comfortable for us, because we live a very independent lifestyle there. And to be honest, like when it becomes become a monk, like a nun, we have sort of restrictions in the society, and we have issues. It's not actually issues, that political views that's been taken place in the society. So with this, we have a lot of freedom, because actually we are not looking to get ordained, but what we are looking for is the true happiness, the ultimate bliss actually. So we want to achieve Nibbana. For that, what we need is the noble association and the right set of environment to achieve that. So in order to do that, I think this is the best thing we have, because for instance, I would say, like in Sri Lanka, nuns are not allowed to drive. So we have to depend on our devotees or helpers to, to have transportation. But for us, we are independent enough to drive ourselves. Like even if we go to the hospital or to get something, to the shop or where somewhere, we are free and we are very independent in that case. So we can drive. We have vehicles in our monastery. So whenever we need, especially in going to hospitals and all, so we take our vehicles and we go and we do our things by ourselves without being a burden to another person. So, and the beauty of it is, like, we observe the 10 precepts that Lord Buddha has preached for nuns, so that we have already with us, and we have the greatest teachers with us to lead us, guide us, to give the perfect guidance, I would say, and to monitor our progress. And if we have any concerns, they are there to help us. So we have everything that we need. Like Lord Buddha has mentioned, like the association of noble people is all about, the sasana is all about the noble association. So on top of everything, we have it here. Like a robe is just a symbol, and I would say it's good. But one day, if we get chance, we may. But at the moment, we don't find a necessity to wear a robe, like, or get into ordination, because we are free enough and we are independent enough to have whatever we want, and we have the greatest teachers with us. So I think this is more than enough for us. This Anagarika is the best for us at the moment to achieve Nibbana. That's what we believe, ma'am. So.
Okay. Before I answer these questions, can I ask, like, what does your daily routine look like?
As a male Anagarika, so we usually start our day around 4 a.m. And from 4:30 to 5:30, we have group discussion. In that group discussions, we discuss what we understood, 5 to 6 people, and then we clarify our understanding, because we clarify our understanding whether what we understood is the right thing. Just attract. So after that, from 5:30 to 6, worship teachers, and then we observe 10 precepts. After 6 until 7 a.m., we have morning alms. And from 7 to 10:30, we engage in morning meditation program, where we, and also we may listen to the sermons as well. And from 10:30 to 12:30, we have alms ceremony for 5 months, and all the other resides in some monastery. And 1 to 3, we have our own time that we actually involved in a lot of meritorious activities. We help each other wash their clothes, and we clean our premises, all these things. And from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., we have Anagarika program. In that program, we actually we are learning the values and virtues, and also disciplines for being as an Anagarika or as a monk. And from 5:30 to 8:30, we have again, we are involving in meritorious activities. For example, we help young Anagarikas to for their studies. We teach languages because we are learning languages. Currently, I'm learning German as well because to deliver this Dhamma to the entire world. And also we have teachers meetings because we have individual personalities, everyone. So we have teachers meeting where we discuss about our problems and issues that we face during the stay. And around 8:30 we observe 10 precepts again, and until 10 p.m. we do night meditation, and we transfer merits that we earn throughout the day for the entire world around 10 p.m. That's my daily routine usually.
Miss Sumadhu?
Yeah, I think it's quite similar to what Mr. Mithun has mentioned. We normally wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and then, as he mentioned, we have that Dhamma discussions from 4:30 to 5:30. Actually, as a normal routine, after waking up, I offer a glass of water to Lord Buddha, and I make a firm resolve that I'd follow what he has preached. So may I be able to follow throughout the day. So kind of, I make a firm resolve. And 4:30 to 5:30, we have these Dhamma discussions where we learn a lot. We have questions. When we follow this path, we have lots and lots of questions. So everybody's in somewhere in this path, so everybody can help each other. So that's a good opportunity for us to help. So these discussions are very helpful. And then after that, we have the morning Buddha Puja, and then we have the morning alms, and we clean our premises. And from 7 to 11, we normally do our daily meditations. So it's like we listen to the Dhamma, we apply the things that we understood, and we try to comprehend it in every possible way. So it's very important for us to have that 4 hours every day. And after that, we have the lunch time. For the Buddha Puja again, we have the lunch. And after that, the time is allocated for the betterment of all the living beings, so helping the others. So we have lots and lots of programs, as Mr. Mithun mentioned. So as he mentioned, we learn languages. I think nearly more than 10 languages we learn, and I'm learning Hindi. So the world, it's a huge population. When you consider about the population in India, it's a big percentage out of the total population of the world. So I think we can make a huge difference with learning a single language. And we have a Dhamma, a magazine that we publish in every 3 months' time. And we have devotees, we have listeners from every corners of the world, and they always put up questions. They email us, so we have a team specially allocated to answer all these questions they are coming up with. And we have counseling sessions online and offline. And especially we have a child development center where we have established to protect our orphan kids. We look after them, we teach them, we kind of nourish them under our wings with all the virtues and all sorts of things. So I think that our time is dedicated. After that, after the lunchtime, we have dedicated our time for the betterment of all the living beings, all the humankind. And after 6, we have a wash. And then around 7 to 9:30, we do our, again, meditation, or we may listen to the Dhamma sermons. And definitely after that, we transfer the merits. So throughout the day, we do lots and lots of merits. So we transfer the merits to all the living beings, and we observe the precepts before going to sleep, and around I think 10 p.m. we go to sleep. That's how our daily routine works.
So it seems very busy. So I know in the monastery, like all our monks, Anagarikas and Angarikas, like we all have like a personal teacher. What do you think the benefits are?
Okay, we all have a personal teacher, and we have weekly meetings with the teachers. And if you have something to talk to, and we have the opportunity to talk to them at any given time, actually. But the weekly meeting is fixed. We have to go and talk to them on weekly basis. But apart from that, we can talk to them at any given time if we want to sort out something. And the greatest thing is we can the they're approachable actually. Our teachers are approachable, and we can tell anything we want because we know that they don't judge us. They don't judge us by the way we talk or by things we say actually. So they simply understand the issues that we take, and we go and talk to them about the issues. But they guide us, they help us to find solutions, but they never take it personally, or they don't look it as personal issues. They see it as a problem to be solved. And I think like we can open up to them because we have confession sessions. So we talk about everything about our lives. We can open up to them about everything, basically everything. So we can talk about that. And actually, that is one of the great opportunities I had because in my lay life, I didn't have that chance. So because of our great teachers, we got that opportunity, and everyone is getting that chance in our monastery. And and the other thing is like the guidance we get. So it's immense. Like it's a reliable. We can rely on the guidance that we receive from our teachers. And what I really feel is like they never like the way they help us to solve problems, like they never give the solution directly, but what they do is they make us think like them. So they guide us to be like them, like they guide us to find problems to our find solutions to our problems. Like that is the guidance that we are receiving. Like when if like they protect us like saplings, tending to us and waiting to grow, to become stronger and very become big like trees. So that's what I feel about my teachers, and that shelter and that guidance is essential to walk on this path to nibbana, I believe.
We have some questions online. One of the questions is, if the wife wanted to if the wife wanted to become a monk and the husband did not, or vice versa, what would happen? Meaning that they'll hurt the other person. Yes, Simulu, can you answer that question? So I'll repeat the question. What will happen if a wife wanted to become a monk and the husband didn't, and or vice versa, meaning it would hurt the other person?
Yeah, luckily that didn't happen to me. So, well, I think that's about sacrificing ourselves for a better house. So, because with me, there are other Anagarikas who they have kind of their husbands have like they have offered them this opportunity to find the utmost happiness. That sometimes the husbands, they didn't want to follow the path, but they really wanted their wives' happiness. So because of that, they have given the freedom for them to choose this path and follow this path. And so I think that's a huge sacrifice. If someone can do that, that's immense. I think it cannot be measured. It's really unbelievable, but there are people who do that. So I think if you really care about the person you really love, then you can do whatever they want. Yeah, I think that you can do it.
Okay. I'll direct next question to Mr. Mithun. So you've lived a happy married life. How did you manage to settle in the monastery?
Yeah, so in 2016 January we moved to Australia soon after we married. And those days we were enjoying, and a lot of plans to travel around the world. So actually we did. And while we are doing this, in 2018, around May, we started to listening this Dhamma. And then the day by day, we're actually understanding more deeply about what is our life, and why we came to this world, and what is the purpose, what is the goal that we should achieve from this human being. And while we were listening this, we had discussions with Udu. So I had discussions with Udu, why don't we practice this as a full time, as a monk or as an Angarika? Actually, we were afraid to take this binary decision because we were having comfortable lifestyle and very fun life in Australia. And then I don't want to take the risk to take this. So we were afraid of that. And then instead of taking that decision in 2019, we went to Sri Lanka and we participated in a temporary Anagarika program where we actually experience everything as what's life as an Anagarika, what's looks like, and whether we can fit into that in the environment. Actually, that program really helped me to help both of us to take the decision in April. But from 2019 to 2022, we actually planned this because we knew that the Nibbana is possible because of the merits, right? So power of merits is guiding to the achieving this goal. From 2016 to 2019 to 2022, we involved in lots of meritorious activities back in Canberra. So we have a temple there in Canberra Buddhist temple, and also we had some friends and families get together. We had 5 or 6 families. They also interested in joining with us to do these meritorious activities. So I think that merit power helped us to.
Okay. Okay. Audience, have any other questions? We have someone online as well. Any questions? No?
That's a question. Well, why did you decide to be an adult as opposed to just like practicing the Dhamma during like your worldly life and your normal life?
Ms. Nandini, do you want to answer the question? The question is, why do you decide to become an Anagarika, not practice the Dhamma in a worldly life? Worldly life.
Okay. Actually, I didn't live a spiritual life as in my lay life. Actually, I was more into very spontaneous lifestyle. So, with my industry, I used to travel a lot, and I wasn't staying in one place. Actually, I worked for a company which I had to travel quite often to other countries. So I was a person who wanted to experiment on different cultures and lifestyles. That I actually did that in my lay life, and with that experience, I was searching for more. Like, I wasn't content with the lifestyle I had because I wanted to experiment more lifestyles and experiment on different lifestyles basically. When I got Dhamma, it was like my parents who gave me Dhamma actually. My father took me to the monastery one day to offer alms. That's how I got Dhamma. Till then I wasn't a spiritual person. I had a religion that was Buddhism, but I got it from my family. But I wasn't a very spiritual person basically. So when I heard the Dhamma for the first time, I got shocked because I already thought, okay, I was doing so many things, and that it was like an empty vessel end of the day. It wasn't filled at all. It's all I was doing it again and again. So what's the purpose of my life? So I started to search for the purpose. Since I had a lot of experience in different lifestyles and the way I spent, like I had everything. I had love. I had my family. I had money, and I was content of so many things, but I wasn't content enough to satisfy myself. So when I heard this, I realized, okay, no point of doing that in that context. Like even if I had to stay in the day life, I have to work. And I was into designing, so which I had to promote things. I was into marketing side, so I have to talk about a lot of things, and I have to indoctrinate people about the pleasurable things that the world is pleasurable. So that's a big fat lie. When I heard the Dhamma, it was shocking. So I've been lying to people all the time. So I realized that, and I didn't want to do that job. So I first thing that came to my mind is I have to quit the job, and that's the first thing I did. So if I was in my lay life and I have to do a job to satisfy my my needs, that amount of needs I had was like, it's not just needs, those are wants. So I had a very let's say, I won't say it's luxury, but the things I had around me was like, I had a lot of things, so I wanted all of that. So I couldn't go to a simple lifestyle by sacrificing my job. So that is the mindset I had earlier. But when I heard Dhamma, I wasn't satisfied with my job, and I knew it was one of the unwholesome deeds that I'm doing right now. So I decided to do that, and then I wanted to have this great noble association. So that, of course, I can't get it from by staying at home, having a lay life. It's very difficult. It's the teachers are far away, and we can't approach them as and when we want to talk to them. So those two were the biggest concerns I had, because and I knew, like, living a lay life wasn't it's not necessary, like, because whatever we do, we have to do it again and again. We have to live for other people's plans, right? So I have to work for my boss's plan. I have to work for my colleague's plan, my friend's plan. So I'm wasting my time for unwanted things, like unnecessary things. So that I figured. So those were the three main factors that hit my mind when I wanted to find Dhamma, and I wanted to find true happiness, because it wasn't like it was the life I had wasn't satisfying, because it never filled my hunger. So this is the only path that could help me to find true happiness. So, and I have observed the precepts, so that is essential to our nibbana, where we can't do it in our normal lifestyle, and the noble friendship, the noble association, because we do a lot of mistakes in our lay lives. Like we can't work according to a proper timetable. Whenever we want to eat something, we just go and open the fridge and eat, but we don't have that control at lay life. So, but this also, we have to have sort of a control to like protect the precept. So that is there. The control of our life is there. So when I consider all of those factors, I think living this Anagarika life is the best thing I ever did in my life. So that is the best path I have chosen to attain Nibbana.
Any other questions from the audience? The live audience? Okay.
Everyone, I would like to ask now for young parents with young children, what would be the path be Anagarika and Anagarika?
Okay, so the question I'd like to give to Ms. Sumuru. So the question is, say, young parents.
Moms and dads
Yeah.
who got young children.
Okay.
What would be the path to become Anagarika and Anagarika? Is there any?
Okay, so the question is, if the kind of young, what would the path be for young children to become Anagarika or Angarika?
Okay. So we have we have a Dhamma school actually currently in our monastery named Siumaga. So we have both male and female students, and we kind of nominate kids from that Dhamma school to become the young Anagarikas. That is after they reach a certain age. I think it's 14, especially for the boys. But we have a plan for the girls as well. I think in the near future, our teacher will announce it, and then yeah, we have broader plans definitely for girls as well. Currently, it's for the boys. So if you are willing to join, you can come and check it, and then you can join the Dhamma school, or you can ask for from someone else who's responsible for that. So that definitely we have that, and especially we have plans for the girls as well in the future. I think we'll be able to announce it.
So for so boys, it's 18 plus, and girls is?
Pardon, Samina sir?
So for boys, it's a 14 plus. So Anagarika, you
14
become
plus, yes.
For girls?
For girls is also, yes, 14 plus.
Yes.
We are working on it. I think, yeah, our teachers and our senior Anagarikas, they are planning, they are making the proposals and everything. We need to have, the basic needs there should be. So we are taking care of them. We have to take the responsibility of them. We have to take the responsibility of their education. It's not only about the Dhamma. We have to provide them everything: food, shelter, and all sorts of things. And we have to, yes, definitely the education as well. So yeah, we have a huge plan. So it's going to start nearly, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. And also, in the monastery, we've had many brilliant stories of the Anagarikas, because every Friday, they'll go into remand houses and correction centers all over Sri Lanka. I'd like Miss Aldini, can you tell us more about this?
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, we are going to remand homes and correction facility centers in Sri Lanka. And actually, that's a great opportunity we have to serve the human race, I think. We meet a lot of girls with all sorts of issues like assaults, addictions, abuse, and drugs. And we have we talk to girls who have problems with like illegal recreational drugs such as cocaine, cannabis, and more. So we talk to them. Like when we go there, like the first thing we do is we build their trust. We try to get close to them and be with them, and then they start to talk to us about their problems, like post traumatic experiences they've been through. So they talk about those, like to get them out, like for them to open up. The first thing we have to do is like we have to gain their trust. So we do a couple of sessions with them, like every Friday we do that. So we get to talk to them, like each day they open up freely. So, and the other thing is like when they have a lot of with the post-traumatic situations they've been through, they have a lot of anger towards the society. So they think the society is responsible for what they've been through. So for that, we need, in order to support them, to address their issues, the first thing we have to do is like we have to get in
Sorry. So I think we have to unmute.
I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
I'm sorry, Swaminathan, did you hear what I said? Has it been muted?
The last moment we can hear.
But,
The last few moments we
okay.
weren't able.
Okay. So I was talking about like when we go there, the first thing we do is like we build the trust. So they have post-traumatic experiences and they hate the society. So what we do is to address their issues. First of all, we get into their shoes and we try to we by understanding them, so they get connect with us. So and when we guide them, what we want them to do is like find solutions, stand alone by themselves to face problems and find solutions for their problems. That's what we do. So I believe by giving them that guidance, they will develop themselves to find solutions by themselves without depending on drugs or all the issues they have been through. So that way they can overcome that situation. So I think it's a great opportunity to give them Buddhist counseling, and we do a lot of activities and preach sermons to them. So we do a lot of activities to change their negative mindset, and we try to build their personality. So that's what we do during that sessions, basically.
The follow-up question would be like someone online has asked, would you be willing to set a center in Sydney?
Pardon?
Will you be willing to set a center in Sydney?
Australia.
In Australia.
Oh, wow, that's a great opportunity, I believe. Of course, we would love to, right? Sudhmati? Why not?
Yeah, we are planning.
Planning?
We are planning. It's still, I mean, we are on the plans to have activities in Australia as well, if we get the chance. The government, perhaps.
Okay. Another question from online audience. So you're wearing a different colored thing
It's
to
praying mat.
a praying mat to the Angarikas.
Yeah.
Does it make a difference? And also, does the monastery offer temporary ordination for non-Sinhalese speaking devotees?
Yeah. So this one actually is a praying mat. So Anagarika also wearing the same thing, but
color difference?
Color difference is, I think, because they are wearing the in our monastery, the monks also use this. So that's why we wear this red color one, because monks and all these praying mat color. That's the difference. It's not a like.
It's uniform.
Huh?
Just uniform.
Just as a uniform, yeah. And what's the other question?
So does the monastery offer temporary ordination for non-Sinhalese speaking devotees?
At the moment, we don't have that program yet started, but in future, we are willing to start maybe around this year, because when we start the international center, which is the project, so we may consider this.
So this is temporary ordination.
Temporary ordination. No, not the temporary ordination. This is a temporary Anagarika program. I thought. First thing that they will do.
So don't our monastery already have a non-Sinhalese speaking temporary ordination?
No, not that.
Sure. Huh? Are you sure?
Ordination?
Temporary Anagarika.
Temporary Anagarika is there. Yeah.
So it's there.
So not the ordination, but temporary Anagarika program is there for the single community. And also if you are from the foreign community, fine, you can have that. But the international center is not started yet. That's the.
Yeah. Okay, so the monastery is also facilitating many projects to help our youth and our younger generation. And I know Ms. Sumudu is giving her indispensable help to support them. So I think Can you explain what the monastery is doing for our younger generations?
Yes, so we have lots and lots of programs, but I'll mention a couple of them. As I mentioned previously, that our Dhamma school, Siumaga, is one of the biggest programs that we have. And we have our unique life education program. This program is delivered to about 600 students over 10 countries. So we conduct these, our classes are basically so these classes for these overseas classes, I mean that for the people who are out of Sri Lanka, they are basically online. So we conduct both in English and Sinhala mediums. And the thing is that this is something we have stepped out of the ordinary, the normal boundaries of the normal Dhamma school concept. It's kind of that we educate kids in applying this Buddhist philosophy. I mean the principles of Buddhism, to apply these principles to their day-to-day challenges, how to overcome them, and then we want them to be virtuous, and we want them to be very morally very strong, so that we have that kind of approach we are using through Siumaga. And another thing that I mentioned was that the Child Development Center, named as Noble Hearts Child Development Center, where we established to protect the kids, the orphan kids. Then so we provide them the education, and that the framework is according to the Buddhist principles and the cultural values, so that they are under our wings. So they're being brought up with all these good virtues and values, and then we want them to achieve the best. We want them to achieve the best personality. So what we want is, we are expecting them to be the world-class citizens of this century. And we have another program, as I mentioned, that 14 plus program for the Anagarika. We call it a youth academy. So we provide them proper education, definitely, according to international and national curriculum. And we have a very comprehensive program has been set so that they can involve with this program, so that they develop their soft skills while getting a proper education. So we believe that we can develop good leaders to enhance this the cultural values and all the religious virtues and all sorts of things. So we believe that this youth academy will provide good leaders for our community. So those are a couple of things that we do for our younger generation.
Any other questions from the audience?
Is there like any opportunity for like say older people as well, like not so much teenagers, but like say late 20s or 30s, to have like the opportunity to sort of like experience like your lifestyle for a little while, and just sort of and also like I just wanted to know the challenges when you first faced when you became an Anagarika.
Okay, so there's two questions. Question number one: is it possible for older people who are not in their teens,
Older means
so to come and experience life as an Anagarika or Anagarika? Also, the second question is, what were the challenges that you have to face when you first came to the monastery? I would like to give this question to Ms. Nandini.
Did you ask us, Hansa?
Yes, Ms. Nandini.
Samanasa, can you repeat the question, because line was lagging, so couldn't pick up.
Okay, so the first question is, can the older older generations, can they come to the monastery and basically have a temporary Angarika life? And the second one is what were the difficulties that you had to face when you came to the monastery?
Okay, so of course we have started this Anagarika program for the 40 plus gender group. So that is those who are above 40. Now the applications have been released to now. So that in that program, what we are planning to do is like we don't fully accommodate them, because I'll answer the second question while I'm answering the first question together. So the biggest drawback of this is we don't have the health facilities to provide them. So the hospital facilities is the biggest issue, because they need a lot of medication when they get into that age. So 40 plus is like we don't have a gender group basically. So it's 40 plus. If you're 80, you can apply, but we can't provide the 4 requisites, because at the moment like we have more than like 200 monks and Anagarikas and Anagarikas in the monastery. So it takes a lot of strength and energy to put up the facilities. Like we need to have hospital facilities, especially hospital facilities when you are 40 like plus. We need to give that, to take that responsibility. We are finding it difficult to take that full responsibility of your life, but we can take the responsibility of your spiritual life. So what we have planned is like we have a program, a full program for them, so they can come to us in the morning till evening. They'll be with us. So we do all sorts of plans to, like, programs to develop their spiritual values, but we don't have the capacity or the capability at the moment to give them accommodation and take the full responsibility of their lives, like we have done for the 40 minus group. So that they have to take care of themselves from the 4 requisites aspect, but we take the responsibility of the spiritual value. So we guide them to attain Nibbana, and we have a set of disciplined conducts that they have to act according to that, even though they go home. So that is to preserve them from getting into the refinements, I would say, the issues that will harm the path to Nibbana. So that way we try to do the program. So that is the issue that we have at the moment, like to do temporary Anagarika programs, that we are finding short of buildings and accommodation facilities. So if we can provide that, of course in future we'll be able to do all these programs for the mankind, like all the people in the world. So but the requisite sides, the shelter and food and medicine, will be a barrier to reach that. That is the most difficult situation we have in terms of that. Otherwise, providing spiritual values, like taking responsibility of Nibbana, of course we have the power to give that to all, I think the entire world, I would say. So yeah, that's about it.
Any other questions?
One question. How does the temporary program work? Like, is it like a fixed period can anyone come?
Yeah. So it's actually, you can decide how long you can stay there. It's all up to you whether you stay 1 month or 2 months. So because in 2019 we go there, we spent 1.5 months participating in that program. And it's actually, it gives you a real experience, but it's like than the life as an Angarika. And also that during the program you're getting all the the benefits as a normal Anagarika as well. So everything that with the sermons and while doing your training for the meditation program, everything basically the same. But that program actually really helped us on like, you don't have to. There's no specific time. You can decide.
And also another question online, dedicated to you. What were your reactions? What were your parents' reactions when you decided to leave?
Honestly, at first, they didn't like the decision that we took. My parents, I remember one day they came to monastery intending to take us back, both of us. And then I remember my father was angry at that day. And I tried slowly explaining them why I took this decision. And they were not at that mindset to understand what I'm trying to say. But actually, thanks to my teachers, I was able to face that situation with a smile on my face, right? And then, so they went away. That's why, yeah. So, and then now, little by little, they are now realizing that the decision that we took is the right decision. So they're slowly getting there now. I'm glad that they're on the right track.
Okay. Questions? So we've got another couple of lines as well. Sorry. When you came to the monastery, did you face any problems? Ms. Nagini?
Well, when I made my decision to join the monastery, actually, we didn't have an Anagarika program at that time. So I really wanted to find true happiness and be part of the monastery, but we didn't have that opportunity by that time. So that was the biggest issue I had. So what I did was like I rented a house closer to the monastery, and I came to the monastery quite often. Till we get the chance, I joined the Saturday sermons and Wednesday sermons, and participated in various meritorious activities, and I lived a life there by myself till I found the right place, like the opportunity to be part of this program. So that was quite challenging. So the place was new, the lifestyle was different. So I didn't have, I know the area also, all sorts of issues were there, but finally we got the program, so it was sorted out that way.
And also to continue, normally in an old monastery or in a temple, usually male monks are usually in charge. Do you feel as though you're treated fairly and equally in the monastery that you're living in?
Let's say to help to manage the day-to-day activities in the monastery and to keep ourselves in the program. So what we do is we get together and we discuss and agree on what works best for us. So we take a very democratic approach to do things, and that gives us the freedom to choose the methods, techniques, and ways that are very that works for us and that really help for us. And the other thing is at the monastery we have a charity trust, and they are the custodians for the any funds or the donations that we receive from the people who offer the funds so generously. So in that case, we don't have to take the responsibility of handling money. So we are free from that responsibility. So we have, like, when we need something, we have a system in place. So to receive and request, we have a system there. So that's how we get along with the we we do things that we need. And the other thing I would say, let's say, like, if you want to, like, we are independent, and so if we are given the chance to join events in the monastery that male monks are participating, like including sermons, Buddha puja, meditation programs, and all the special events. And so I think I strongly believe that we've been treated fairly, and the best thing I could say is I never felt a stranger since I became an Anagarika. I never felt like I left home, because this has been my home. So I think that's the best treatment we all can have in this monastery.
Any other? Someone has asked, are there any special programs that you facilitate in the holiday season? Ms. Simone?
Yeah, we do. So, as we have listeners from all around the world that they want to experience this life in the RMA, so that they kind of ask whether they can join us, and even for a short period of time during their holiday seasons. So some of them, they want to stay a couple of weeks, some of them a couple of months. So depending on their requirements, we try to cater them accordingly. So the thing, I'll tell you a couple of examples that we recently had a couple of visitors from USA, Canada, and from USA, Germany, and from Italy. And two of them stayed for a couple of weeks, and one stayed for 2-3 months. So that they really enjoyed. The thing is that we want to give them the best, because that they are coming in the middle of their responsibilities. So they want to get the best out of this, and we want to give them the best. So we kind of arrange special programs for them, so that they have to attend. So yeah. So yeah, we have so we have this program, special sermons, discussions, and if they want to kind of express themselves, if they want to discuss their issues, so we have that kind of proper arrangement for them to get the best out of this. And at the same time, if so we had a family, mother, father, and daughter. So we had a special program for the mother and father, and then for the kids, especially, we had another program. So she was around 12 years of her age, and she was very vibrant. So she was very open speaking. So we discussed about the issues that she had, and the moments that she get angry, the moments that she become upset. So we try to find answers through the view of Dhamma, through aspects of Dhamma, so that she could handle those situations by herself. And we had times that storytelling times about great Arhan. She really enjoyed, and she said that she wanted to join us again for the next holiday season as well. The situation or the thing that you really want, we can cater accordingly. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. No? All right, so we have some other questions online as well. So one of them says, we have to deal with difficult people at workplaces and other places. But how do you manage the same situation in the monastery, Anagarikas and Angarikas, without getting angry or affected emotionally? Who wants to answer that? You want to?
So it's true that when we are working with a couple of like 200 people get together and they staying each other in the same place, so there may be problems coming. But in our monastery, we are there to full final goal. We are going towards the Nibbana. We are living for helping others, ourselves. So in that mindset, we are not actually getting emotional and angry each other, because if we get something, we have personal. We are not releasing our anger on the others, but we are releasing our anger on others. We are going to our personal teacher and inform a teacher, I have the problem this. I feel angry about this person. So what should I do? So it's like basically the personal teacher actually protects you from everything. So that actually helps us to stay as a single community, like going towards the same goal. It's like the B community. Yeah.
Questions? No. So we have another question. The question is your monastery vegetarian or non-vegetarian food? Miss Nabini.
I think in the monastery, if we have that concern, Dhamma speaks the best, I think. So we go to our, like, when people joined as Anagarikas, like, we had those issues, but we talked to our teachers. Like, I think in Buddhism, being a vegetarian or non-vegetarian doesn't matter. Like, if you don't do the 10 unwholesome deeds, because we are eating the dead meat, so I think it's not a problem in the monastery. So we like, till we get used to it, we can avoid that. If you don't like to, it's okay. But teachers always mentor us to get rid of the sensation of taste. So in order to do that, we contemplate on Dhamma. So what we eat doesn't matter, but the purpose of eating is to satisfy your hunger. So the food that's on the plate doesn't matter, because we don't have the right, we don't choose. Basically, we eat, we don't choose. So we are begging for food. So when we beg for the food, we get something into our alms bowl just to sustain our hunger. So that's the mindset we build in our within our monks and Anagarikas and Anagarikas. So in the initial stages, the first couple of months or first couple of weeks, it might be difficult for those who are not used to that. But we give them training, like mental, like we treat them as issues to we guide them, give counseling sessions, we guide them in terms of Dhamma to overcome that. So you get a grace period to get adapted to that. But the actual scenario, none of the Anagarikas or Anagarikas or monks choose to eat any meal, because we beg for food. What we get to our bowl, we eat. If we have a disease or something that we cannot have, or allergy to something, that of course we avoid, because it matters, like it affects physically. But if it's a mental issue, then we don't give that a chance, because that is one of the issues that we're trying to solve in terms of Dhamma. So it affects our Nibbana. So we try to solve it from Dhamma perspective. So that's what I think from that issue.
Do you have any other questions? No? Okay. No, online audience and all questions. When you stayed in the monastery, did you have any doubts and fears, and how did you overcome them?
The biggest doubt I had how to face the emotional attachment towards Miss Sumudu, because when we entered as an Angarika, so each and every day I see her, because she is coming to the monastery and they are attending all these meditation programs and they are listening to the Dhamma sermons and everything. So when I saw her, sometimes I felt like I lost my soulmate that I shared my life for 10 years. So I was struggling how to get rid of that feelings that generating inside my mind. But day by day, because of the love and care that I received from the fellow Anagarikas and also from the monks, that I started to feel that I'm actually not alone, that I have nearly 200 soulmates now to share my life. And also, especially my personal teacher actually guided me through a journey that in that journey, he showed me slowly what is the reality of a relationship. Actually, that really helped me to get rid of that in just 3 months that I was struggling. So now I'm okay.
Okay. I see the other side of the story. Miss Sumudu?
Yeah, I think I had the same issue. So that I was afraid of losing the best friend that I had for like 12 years. So that Mr. Mithun was there by my side during most of the ups and downs. And I could not imagine of a world without him. But then soon after getting here, becoming an Anagarika, I was surrounded by these wonderful people, the teachers, the senior Anagarikas and my peers. I think my teachers, they kind of helped me to find who I am. And my senior Anagarikas, they accepted me as who I was. So there was no pressure at all. And my peers, they're always there by my side. So they were always there to guide me, to help me. So I think it's all because of their love and affection, and especially because of this noble companionship, that I overcame that issue, and that I am the person who it's because of them that I became the person who I am today.
Nadani?
Well, the biggest fear and doubt I had was to break my comfort zone, because I was living an independent life, and the attitude I had was like very headstrong. So it was difficult. First few weeks, it was difficult for me to adjust. So actually, like Miss Sumudu mentioned, like it was my family who protected me. Family as in the Anagarika family, actually. I had issues in cooking for a lot of people, and there were certain concerns to break off my comfort zone. So I had the personal space problem, like, I wanted to have my own space. So those issues were there. So in order to overcome that, my Anagarika sisters, like the fellow Anagarikas, helped me out a lot, and they helped a lot, immensely actually. Let's say, like, the support was immense. So they took care of me. When it comes to taking care of each other, I don't believe, like, I don't think like anyone could do that. If you are not family or not your friend, how could you be such a wonderful person to another person? So to give love and care. So they are in top of the list, so I would say. So because of their help, I could overcome that issue. And yes, now like we don't really care about her comfort zones in that sense. And yeah, it's because of them only I could overcome that problem.
Okay. Another question from the online audience. Why do you take this spiritual path, and why do you choose this monastery? Instantly.
Is that for me, Sawinasa?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I was living the life that I wanted, I dreamt of. I wanted to get high. I studied well, I traveled the world, I enjoyed the life, but always there was, something was missing. We did lots of things to be happy, and we wanted to keep that happiness, but we could not. And so we were looking for this happiness that is not shakable, but then we couldn't achieve it. And one day, accidentally, we listened to this sermon of our teacher, and it was shocking actually, because it could completely change our lives, because we have been looking for happiness from all the things in the outer world, but then suddenly it was told that the true happiness lies within us. And it was such a shocking thing. So that we wanted to find that, because we've been after this happiness, and we wanted to find this. We wanted to get this unshakable happiness. And the thing was that, yes, now we know that something does exist as a true happiness, and we wanted to achieve it, but we knew that we couldn't achieve it without the proper guidance. And we knew that our teacher is the person, is the proper guidance that we have. So he's the captain who takes this ship to the safest shore. So of course we got on board, and that's how we came here.
Okay. So a lot of the time we've been talking about helping other people, and so how else are we helping other ordinary people? Can like people come and if people have issues, can they come up to you and have you help to resolve them? Nothing?
Yes, actually we have devotees all around the globe, and who practice the path. So of course we have these sessions in our monastery where they can come and talk to us. So they come and talk to us and spend time. We spend time with them. We pay individual attention to them. So they discuss their personal issues with us. So we do sort of like counseling sessions to them, and we guide them with the Buddhist methods and techniques to solve problems. And sometimes they come and talk to us about their issues, like the general issues that they face day-to-day life. So what we do is like the guidance we give. It's very directed to the Buddhist counseling, like not just Dhamma, but practical ways to apply the Dhamma to life. So we discuss those issues that way, so that we give guidance to them to solve their practical issues by Dhamma. So we give examples with that, and then by giving that, they'll be able to practice it quite often. So they talk about how to apply Dhamma. Like we have discussions like that. So that way we help. So at the end of the session, we want them to have a big smile on their face that they have sorted out the problem. So till when we come to the conclusion of that session, each and every counseling session, we want them to have a happy life. So our main purpose of this discussions are to help them to find true happiness in this world. So through Dhamma only we can go there. So we give that proper guidance to them to find true happiness by applying that in practical day-to-day issues.
Any questions? No? So no? Okay. Someone online had asked, what are the 10 precepts and what's the meaning of observing the 10 precepts? Do you both want to answer? Okay, Mr. Muru or Mr. Navani?
So it's 10 precepts. I'd say that yes, there are 10 precepts. That, but I think all of them aligned into one direction. So let's say the first one, that we refrain from killing animals. Yes, it says we refrain from killing animals, but it's not about killing animals. It's about, that you can destroy someone's life by, that rumors can destroy people's lives, yeah? So it's not about killing, means physically killing, but people can kill others character-wise as well. So it's about giving, it's about being compassionate about others in a very broad manner. It's not about just killing, so that we kind of give ourselves for others. So I'm just explaining the first precept. So it's like this whole precept is about the path to Nibbana. So it's about like giving yourself for the sake of the others. It's about keeping others happy. You're working for the benefit of the others. You're making others' lives comfortable as much as you can. So I think all these concepts, all the precepts, then if you take the second one, refrain from taking, refrain from stealing. So you think that it's stealing, but it's not about just stealing. Stealing is taking something from something that doesn't belong to you, that taking something from someone else without asking. And we think that it's the biggest stealing thing, but it's not only about it. If you kind of unnecessarily, if you leave the fans on, if you leave the lights on unnecessarily, you are taking something from the community. Let's say you are taking phone calls from your company, and you are taking a pen or pencil from your school or from your workplace. It is again stealing. You are taking something that doesn't belong to you actually. Again, you're not going to harm anybody. Even in that sense, you're not going to take anything that doesn't belong to you. So this has really deep meanings if you try to understand this Dhamma, so that every single precept aligns towards Nibbana. Even though you just observe one precept, you can attain Nibbana through that. That's what I have to say.
Someone else has asked, is it hard being an Anagarika?
Hard means difficult. I don't think so. Because if you live like the way you are, right? For example, in your lay life, we have to become we can't live the way we are, right? We have to depend on others. But when you enter the monastery, you can actually you can actually stay as you are. Like it's free for you. You don't have to stress, and if you feel something uncomfortable, you can directly go to and discuss with your personal teacher about your issue, and then you are getting those solutions. I don't think it's really hard being as a Angarika rather than, I think it's very hard being in a lay Angarika.
The Anagarikas, what do you think? It's difficult being an Anagarika.
Well, I think if you don't make up your mind to become an Anagarika, yes, of course, then you will find it difficult. But if you know the true purpose of you being the purpose of being an Anagarika, then I think it's very easy. So if you know that purpose, then you can commit according to your purpose. So then it won't be a challenge. So if it becomes a challenge, because I'm talking about from my experience. It's like I wanted to become an Anagarika, but the mindset wasn't ready to give up on my comfort zones. So it becomes challenging because you're not ready to give up on your comfort zones only. But if you're ready to face anything, then you're ready to do it. Then your mind, if the mindset is right and ready, then you won't find it difficult to adjust to the situations and the issues that are coming towards you. So basically, like actually living is all about facing the challenges. So Anagarika is also, we have challenges that comes to us, like, mentally, the defilements, let's say, the enemies that come, those are like that affects our nibbana. Anything that comes to affect our nibbana is a challenge. Like even if you like to drink a cup of coffee, if you have that desire, at one point that will also become an enemy one day when you practice the path. So we'll be able to face those challenges and to overcome that. To do that, we have to have the positive mind to approach it. So if you have that positive mind, it won't be challenging because you are accepting the challenge. So if you were to run a race, you accept the challenge and you run for it, right? Then only you can win the game. So that's how in Anagarika, in terms of Anagarika program also, like you have to accept the challenge positively and then you have to work for it. Then you will win the game. So that's what I believe. So it's not challenging if you're positive enough to face the challenges, then it's very easy. If you're not ready, then it's difficult. That's what I think.
Okay. Another question is it what are the benefits of becoming Anagarika to practice the path rather than a layperson?
The benefits, because if it is a layperson, what I see is the important thing is that I have a teacher and also a personal teacher, because Nibbana isn't possible without a teacher. So when we entered to the monastery as Anagarika, the best thing I got is the teacher, the personal teacher, who actually, he knows everything about me. He guided me from the scratch to like everything. I remember from 2022 April now, so every week we had this meeting and I'm explaining my issues and everything. So basically that's the important thing that I got through this entered as an Anagarika life. And also we don't have to look after ourselves, because if we think like when we are layperson, when we having our lay life, we have to work for ourselves and we have to fulfill our needs and all these 4 requirements. So we need to find out from by ourselves. But when we enter that to the monastery, so the charity look after us. So we don't have to do anything. Actually, we can give our life. That's what I said earlier, that we can give our life for the betterment of everyone, to help the entire world.
Another question is when will you become a monk?
That's totally depending on my teachers, whether they are happy to. But usually we have 1-year program, so hopefully next April, hopefully. Thank you, my teacher.
Your teacher's what?
What do you think the significance of that year is? Why do you want to stay a year before?
Yeah, it's because I think that people coming to the monastery from different background, right? So when we entered the monastery, within 1 year, actually everyone is trying to understand who am I and the direction that I should go. And it's like, because if you become a monk and you don't have that desire and all this to achieve the Nibbana, then you don't feel that you are comfortable enough, right? And because of that 1 year, the time period that we have, we can actually think about what we are doing is the right thing and whether we are able to do this properly and like that. So that 1 year period is very effective, I think. Otherwise, if you get into rope and then you turning back, I think it's waste of your time. But that 1 year really helps us to think about, okay, I'm ready or not.
We also had another question about
It's higher. Can you put it higher?
It's connected?
It's connected. So we've asked, someone has asked about the International Meditation Center.
Mm-hmm.
What can you give us more information about that?
Yeah, so it's actually not yet started. We are actually developing it in a separate area. So that's we are planning to do meditation programs and retreats for the foreign tourists who are coming to Sri Lanka and like that, so on. So actually, it's still in the proposed project. So we are not actually doing it. So in the future, we will advertise it soon.
Are there any other projects that you're working on Anagarikas? Can you tell us more about this orphanage that you were talking about?
Pardon, sorry, Master?
You said something about an orphanage?
Yes, so it's the Child Development Center that I mentioned, the Noble Hearts Child Development Center. So it's for the orphan kids. Well, we mainly focus about the boys currently, but as we grow in the future, according to our plans, we hope that we can expand our wings further. So we are expecting to do that. Still, I think we are planning on it.
Okay.
Do we have a final question from the offline audience?
Yeah, where do people sign up? It sounds like a lot of people are interested.
So actually, so if you are willing to participate in these programs, you can directly contact the Minister of Nirvana organization. So they are the contact person in Australia with our monastery. So it's a joint organization. So actually you can write them, email them your contact details and whether you are willing to join as maybe you wanted to participate in temporary Anagarika program, you can also write to them, and also if you are willing to participate in another future meditation retreats, maybe we are planning to conduct those meditation retreats in Australia as well in future. So if you're willing to participate, you can actually sign up with the Ministry of Nirvana. So that's the organization.
So, for those online, have had that. You can sign up by the Minister of Nirvana, give your names to the Minister of Nirvana, and for these sermons, programs, meditation retreats, and etc. Okay, so that brings to the end of the this panel discussion. I'd like to thank everyone who joined in this space and Mithun and Ms. Navani. I'd like to hand over the mic to Tina. This one?
Okay, so was that inspiring or what? That is so inspiring. And thank you everyone for your questions and your participation. That was very, very interesting. So we're going to move over to our next session. We're just going to have a short break so we feel like standing up, just wiggling around for our next session. Just a few minutes.